Hey everyone, I'm Sean Fargo with Mindfulness Exercises. I'm here at Stinson Beach, California, just north of San Francisco. You can hear the waves of the ocean behind me. The rain is falling, and I'm in this cabin by myself tonight, the day after Christmas. Um, it's kind of a nice, mellow evening. The darkness of late December is sort of a conducive time for going inward, for sensing into this experience internally. Um, a lot of us will resort to movies or TV in the evenings. Some of us are avid readers, and that's great. And evening can be a wonderful time for settling into the body, to meditate, sense into our belly breathing, sensing into the emotions and the energy of the day, and to unwind, to relax the nervous system, to de-stress, and to prepare the mind and heart and body and spirit for sleep, for slumber, for vivid dreaming, maybe lucid dreaming. If we've had a long, busy day, if a lot of things are going on in our lives, then we may not want to carry that energy into a third of our day when our eyes are closed in bed. We may not want to carry the baggage of our day into the night when we're um, supposed to be processing and resting, recuperating, and healing. So, this is all to say that I'm a big fan of evening meditations. Um, I started doing nightly meditations regularly when I was a monk in Asia. I didn't really have a choice. We would meditate first thing in the morning, late morning, early afternoon, late afternoon, early evening, and late evening. Oftentimes going until about 3 a.m. And so there are many nights where I was kind of dozing in and out, um, and kind of falling on the floor, uh, falling asleep during the meditation. And there were so many moments of deep peace, of really just sort of unwinding, surrendering to stillness, and letting go. Sitting with my monk brothers of all ages, we would sit together in silence and darkness, really sensing into this experience of being human. And some of my favorite moments of meditation are late into the evening. And now, as a father, as a husband, sometimes it's tricky finding those moments of meditation during the day, but usually at night before sleepy time, it can be a little bit easier to carve out that space and time um, to sit. And if we don't really have space or time to sit, then we can lay down in bed and practice mindfulness meditation when we're laying down, sensing into the experience of laying down flat on the back, opening the hips, And uncrossing the legs and the arms, really sensing into being horizontal. And so a lot of us find that when we do this, when we're sitting or laying down, that it's easier to fall asleep and that we will have deeper rest when we fall asleep. Sometimes if we wake up in the middle of the night and it's a little tricky to fall back asleep, then I recommend just treating that as an opportunity to practice mindfulness meditation. You're sensing into the heaviness of the body, the touch points of the body on the bed or the seat, the downward pull of gravity pulling you downwards. We're sensing into parts of the body with this gentle awareness, this gentle sense of care and kindness. Just unwinding any tension, noticing where we're holding on, where we might be bracing, noticing areas of tension, tightness, and bringing this gentle awareness, the spacious awareness around the tension, around the tightness. Just kind of holding it very lightly, allowing it to be here, just tending to it and befriending it with this gentle awareness. Really staying with the somatic sensations of the body, the heart, and the head. Breathing with the whole body. Spacious awareness. Resting in the body. Just finding refuge in what we feel. This isn't head-based or brain-based. This is really an embodied presence. Feeling the whole body, this kind, gentle awareness. I'd like to welcome Caldeep on LinkedIn. We're broadcasting live on LinkedIn, Facebook, and YouTube. And so Caldeep is on LinkedIn. If anyone else would like to say where you're calling from, or what you'd like from this meditation, please feel free. Sanjeev is here on LinkedIn. Thank you for your comment. Keldy is from Kansas. She's on our Facebook page right now. Hello. Please feel free to introduce yourself. Richard is here. He has the question, how to deal with self-insecurity. Great question. Hi, Richard from El Salvador. Now I know who you are. Hi, Richard. Nice to see you. I will touch on self-insecurity shortly. Melissa's here from Fort Lauderdale. Christine is here. It says, so glad to be here with you here in Chicago, holding space for a sick relative. It's very sweet. Erin is in Canada. Hello, Erin. Vivian is in Alaska. Hi, Vivian. Purva in India. My question is how we can use mindfulness in depression. Great question. And we'll touch on that. Marco is in Peru, Lima, Peru. I've always wanted to go to Peru. I hope to make it soon. Great. Yeah, so feel free to write any questions or comments or where you are in the world, what brings you here. It's nice to see people from all over the world. No one from YouTube, surprisingly, but everyone's been on Facebook and LinkedIn. Yeah. One of the things, I'm sorry, Keldy said, I am a very empathic person and I am a sexual assault advocate, trying to find ways to block out other people's pain. Wow, thank you for sharing that, Keldy. And Tony is here from Virginia. Welcome. Yeah, so in regard to self-insecurity, it's being human, we're very vulnerable, and not every situation is necessarily safe or secure. And so by no means am I trying to gloss over that inherent vulnerability. And opening to vulnerability is scary. And it's also part of my work as a practitioner is to open to my vulnerability and to allow myself to feel it and to allow myself to grieve and to open to fear itself and get to know it and allow myself to be with the fear so that it doesn't control me. I can be with my fear and learn how to respond with a fuller sense of perspective and confidence that I can be with the fear itself. And a lot of my confidence and self-confidence comes from having practice being with my insecurity. So bringing mindfulness to the insecurity itself and not judging the insecurity as being bad or wrong. And I think that's really important, to not judge the insecurity as being good or bad, right or wrong, but rather kind of hold that lightly. What does this insecurity feel like? What does this vulnerability feel like? Can I allow myself to feel this without judging it to be good or bad? Sometimes we might judge it to be good and right. Sometimes it's the opposite. So am I judging it? Do I feel like I should feel different? But instead, can I just feel insecure right now without judging it? Can I get to know what it feels like in the belly, heart, the head? And can I hold it lightly? What does this insecurity feel like somatically? Maybe there's kind of butterflies in the belly. Maybe there's dryness in the heart. Maybe there's tension in the back of the neck. Maybe there's like tension up in the forehead. Maybe there's warmth around the chest or a knot in the center of the chest. Maybe I can't really feel my feet. What does it feel like to feel insecure? And can I hang out with it without judging it, without feeling like I should feel different? Can I hold it with a spacious awareness? And then, over time, it can be helpful to segue into self-compassion. Mindfulness is a form of compassion, but we can also take it a step further and remind ourselves that this feeling is relatively common. It's not just me. This is a human feeling that we all experience from time to time. It's not going to be here forever. It's not always here, even though it seems like it is sometimes. But it rises and passes away like everything else. It's common to feel insecure sometimes as a human being. It's not necessarily a bad thing. And can we treat ourselves the same way we would treat a good friend? By listening, being with it, providing this simple sense of care for ourselves. So those are a few different ways that I recommend sensing into insecurity, but also remembering that confidence builds from repeated action of bringing mindfulness to the insecurity. So it's not like you do it once and then you're free from insecurity for the rest of your life. It takes practice. And so if we do this on a daily basis, we will start to feel more and more confidence that we can be with it without reacting to it, without identifying with it. And we start to feel more spacious in our ability to respond to life. And we start kind of loosening our identity of being an insecure person or not being able to deal with it in a healthy way. So this repeated tending and befriending can help build confidence. Hi, Unique on YouTube, Jyoti on LinkedIn, Mandy from the UK, Desiree on LinkedIn says, how do you deal with grieving of a person of mental illness? That's a tough one. If someone is dealing with mental illness, grief is a natural response, especially of a loved one. And so I think honoring your grief, allowing yourself to grieve, is important. That's one of the things I want to do more and more of, quite frankly, is to grieve. Sometimes I hold it in, or I ignore it, or I will distract myself from it. And so, allowing yourself to grieve, talking it out with someone who can listen can be helpful. And I like praying or wishing that person well through prayer or, whatever spiritual practice you have, or just wishing them well on their journey in some way. Equanimity practice can go a long way. I recommend Googling equanimity phrases. Basically, these are phrases that you can repeat to yourself that convey the sense of care and warmth for this person who may be having a mental illness challenge. But also, it's reminding us that we can't control it, that we can't fix it, that we can do what we can, and that's about it. And we care. And so equanimity phrases kind of help us to keep this caring perspective. But with grief in general, I do recommend also not judging the grief to be good or bad, right or wrong. Sometimes we'll hold on to the grief, judge it to be right, think we should be grieving all the time, or we might judge it to be wrong and we'll suppress it or ignore it, or some of us will exaggerate it. So just allowing ourselves to feel these tides of grief. And I'm sorry, Desiree. It's hard to grieve a person who's mentally ill. Unique said, definitely struggling mentally with my family's current situation, trying to find space for mindfulness and staying hopeful. Yeah. Vivian wants to heal a physical and emotionally broken heart. Yeah. Raquel said, first time joining. Thank you for taking time to share with us. I work in the juvenile justice system and in youth corrections specifically. I actually have been wanting to start a group for this, and I joined to see how you did it. This is a group to get some ideas to pay forward to these kids, so that also desperately need it. Appreciate you and this gift of knowledge you share with us. Gracias. Thank you, Raquel. Thank you for the work you're doing for youth in the juvenile justice system. That's really beautiful work that you're doing. Yeah. Purva said how mindfulness can be used in depression. Some good books you can suggest. Yeah. I think with depression, like building a sense of agency goes a long way. And to build a sense of agency, we want to take baby steps. And so I would recommend putting on your calendar maybe 1 minute of meditation or 2 minutes of meditation where you maybe just sit for those 2 minutes with your eyes closed and maybe try to tend to your breathing. And then maybe after a few days of that, try sensing into what depression feels like in the body. Usually with depression, there's a lack of sensation, a lack of energy. So what does that feel like? Where is the lack of energy? And on the inverse side of that, you might sense into the bodies where you feel the most energy. And where is that? What does that energy feel like? And then after a few days of that, maybe upping your meditation to 5 minutes. Or trying walking meditation, where you sense into the bottoms of your feet as you walk. Sensing into the heel, arch, toes, heel, arch, toes, heel, arch, toes. And sensing into the bottoms of the feet as you walk slowly. And that might bring more energy to the body, sense of agency, sense of presence. That might help unlock the depression a little bit. And you could do 5 miles of walking meditation at some point too, if that sounds interesting to you. But remember that, um, depression also is a common feeling. That it doesn't make you a bad person. That depression isn't wrong or good, right or bad. It's just this lack of energy, lack of agency. Um, Sometimes journaling it can be helpful. But again, trying not to judge it, rather kind of investigate it a little bit and build these baby steps of action items to build a momentum of agency. Um, and be patient with it. So those are a few ideas for you. I hope that's helpful, Purva. And listening to guided meditations on self-compassion, um, resilience. There's all sorts of wonderful guided meditations out there on all these topics. So you could Google guided meditation for depression, guided meditation for self-compassion, guided meditation for resilience. There's a lot of them at mindfulnessexercises.com for whatever it's worth. I have some on there as well. So with that in mind, maybe we can meditate together for a little while and see what we notice. And we can calm our nervous systems a little bit, open the heart, help the energy flow in the body, and prepare us for sleepy time. If we're in the US, or it might be in different parts of the day, in Asia and India. So, welcome, Dr. Komati. A lot of people in India today. Well, welcome. So, so this is a guided meditation for having a sense of ease and well-being, to help the nervous system, to help us feel centered and resilient again. And then after the meditation, I'll open it back up to questions or comments, and we'll just kind of go from there. So I'm just going to be closing my eyes for a little while, feeling the bottoms of my feet on the ground. Feeling the body on the seat. Just kind of sensing into how I'm holding the body. Are there points of tension or tightness? Just seeing if we can relax for a moment. Maybe taking a deep breath or two. unwinding the belly. Noticing how we're breathing. Are we breathing through the nose or the mouth? Is our belly relaxed? Just sensing into what it feels like to be sitting down. Whatever your posture is. How does the body feel supported? And what does the body need to feel balanced? Allowing the body to move, to feel balanced. What does the body need to feel more ease? And bringing this gentle awareness to the body for the sense of ease. It's okay to feel whatever we feel. Opening to these sensations. As we breathe, opening to these layers of experience. This caring curiosity. Opening to whatever's here. Softening control. Softening the body. This gentle awareness. Breathing with the whole body. In this moment, this breath, this body, so precious. Inviting a sense of ease into the whole body. Sense of ease throughout the heart. A sense of ease throughout the head. Gentle awareness of the body as we breathe. Opening to whatever's here without judging it to be good or bad. Simply noticing however it is, with a sense of allowance and tenderness. Allowing this moment to be however it is, and allowing it to change however it wants. And simply resting in this experience, however it is. And may we bring the same quality of caring awareness to our moment to moment experience for the rest of the day. Maybe taking a deep breath or two. Feeling the feet on the ground, the body on the seat. Maybe wiggling your fingers or toes. And slowly opening the eyes whenever you're ready. So just curious how that meditation was for you, or what's coming up for you. Feel free to write any comments or questions or reflections in the comment section. Helen Peck, nice to welcome you. Um, Lynette Bixby, welcome. Lynette said, thank you. Just taking myself back a couple of years. I learned how to do things differently. Sean taught me at the hospital. Not sure if this is the Sean. Well, welcome, Helen. Nice to see you from Australia. Yeah, so feel free to write any questions or comments. Yeah, so with mindfulness practice, we're opening to what's here. We are allowing what's here to be here. We're allowing it to change, to stay, to intensify. Simply sensing into our moment-to-moment experience without judging it to be good or bad, right or wrong. And we're increasing our capacity to be with more and more types of experience, with experience that's more intense, partly so that we're not as overwhelmed by anything, that we can be with just about anything, including the fullness of our own humanity, with our grief and our sorrows, as well as our joys, happiness. Good morning, Indu in India. Yeah, so just with this time of day, we're getting a lot of people in India and Australia. People in Europe are asleep right now, typically. And a lot of us in the United States are kind of settling down after the holidays, getting ready for sleepy time, unwinding. You know, a lot of people find that when they meditate, they accidentally fall asleep. But when they try to fall asleep, they can't. And that's really common. That when we try to fall asleep, it's hard. But when we simply sense into this experience, without expectation. When we open to this present moment experience with curiosity, when we allow ourselves just to rest in the body and in the heart, that's when our nervous systems start to unwind, to settle, and our thinking brains start to rest. We start to feel a little bit safer. Kind of let our guard down a little bit. We're not looking out for the next thing. We're not scrambling for security. We simply notice, oh yes, right now, this experience is like this. These are the sounds. These are the sights. These are the sensations. These are the emotions. And it's okay. This is the way it is. This is this radical acceptance. Whatever's here, even if it's unwanted, unpleasant, this is the way it is. And it's okay. This moment is the way it is. There are reasons for it. And with mindfulness, I have the ability to tend to it and befriend it. So, with mindfulness practice, we're learning acceptance. And this helps us to not react to the depression, the anxiety, the pain, the insecurity, but rather it helps us to respond to it with a little more clarity and less fear. So a lot of mindfulness practice unwinds fear. We tend to the fear itself, we open towards it. And that in and of itself builds strength and confidence and faith in our own capacity to be with our humanity and to be with other people's humanity. And it also helps us to connect with what's greater than ourselves, the energies of the world. We're more aligned, we're more in tune. That fear doesn't provoke us to fight it or to run from it. Mindfulness helps us to sense into these energies, which can be very healing also very powerful. So I hope that practice was useful. The recording will be in these areas on LinkedIn, Facebook, and YouTube. So I just want to thank everyone for being here today. Last call, if anyone has any questions or wants to share where you are in the world, or if you have any reflections you'd like to share. I see Helen is posting a lot on LinkedIn. Indu, I'm glad you're getting our emails. If anyone wants to check out some of our free mindfulness exercises or courses, feel free to check out our website, mindfulnessexercises.com. But I'll be here more regularly, live with everyone. It's just really sweet to meet people and to practice together. And to hear what's on your mind, because I know it's not easy to be human sometimes. Thank you, Ricardo, for your kind words. Nice to see you. And yeah, thank you, Helen. Thank you, everybody. I hope you have a wonderful rest of your day or evening. And take good care of yourself. It's important. You are important. You are worthy of your caring presence. So take good care, and I'll see you again. Okay. Bye, everybody.